Reba here, welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. So today we are going to take a look at 3 of my plants that I have growing in my container garden and talk about those a little bit. So this particular plant that I have right here, I'm not exactly quite sure what it is. The leaves are fuzzy on the bottom and they are smooth on the top. They're not glossy, they're a matte, and there are some like ridges on the leaf, like serrated looking edges, as you can see here. And don't mind the dirt, that's gardening dirt under my fingernails. So that's how they kind of look on the bottom side, and they're very, very soft and very, very fuzzy on the bottom. And the older ones are not quite as fuzzy, but they're still soft and fuzzy a little bit, but not as fuzzy. But the top ones, these are like velvet almost underneath. And then the top of the leaf looks like this. We'll see if I can get a good one for you guys to see. I had taken one off of the tree to take a picture of with my plant identifier, and so that's how the leaf looks, and it comes to a little point right on the end like that. And every time I would take a picture of this plant to put into my plant identifier, every single time it would give me something else that it could possibly be. So, but the number one suggestion for it was a serviceberry. Now, this plant, and this other little one that looks exactly like this one was last year. This little one is how it looked last year. And it's a little bit soft underneath. At least I think it is. I could be completely wrong. I just remember this one having more red, kind of like this right here, this growth here. And so I'm not sure, maybe this one is not the same, but I thought that it was. So we'll have to watch this and see if it overwinters. This one overwintered through all of the snow and the freezing ground and that sort of thing. So it continued growing from this point and has gotten a lot taller this year, as you can see. So I'm thinking it might be a serviceberry. Anybody who knows anything about serviceberries, let me know if you know if this looks anything like a serviceberry. I know the leaves get a really pretty color, like a red or orange color. So I'll keep you guys updated on this and show this in the fall again, so that we can see how it looks in the fall. And this one I was able to identify, and I finally figured out I had to take pictures of the leaves, and it is called willow herb, and the leaves in Russia are used to create a tea, and it's very astringent is the proper word I think I'm trying to look for. And so it's used for like if you have bladder infections and different things like that. And so it's supposed to be really good tea. I can't remember the name of the tea that is used, but anyways, if you look up willow herb, you'll see other names for the plant. And so so there's that. The other trees that I want to show you are my my Russian olive trees. Now it's not a true olive, like in the sense of like what we're used to, like what you buy in the store, like an olive, but it is a berry that you can eat. And there are thorns on the trees. They develop thorns, and I do believe I have some thorns somewhere on one of these. I can't remember which one has it, but they do develop thorns. And the leaves are like teddy bears. They're really soft, and they're very soft underneath side. I ripped the leaf a little bit, but they're very, very soft on the underneath side, and they're kind of soft on the tops. The younger leaves, like up here, they're soft top and bottom. They're very, very fuzzy. People will describe it as scales, I guess, on them. But even the bark is fuzzy. The new growth is very, very soft and fuzzy. The old growth, though, is kind of looks like this here. And so that's last year's growth. And you come up to right here, and then the new growth begins right here. And so then you have it get all fuzzy up here. And then I was looking at it today, and I noticed a new little tree down here. So I don't need that sticking there. But this is a new tree that has come up from the root area, you guys. So I've got trees, and I think this is a black grass coming up. I had a seed for black grass, mumbo grass or whatever it's called. So I think that's what that is coming up in the center. If you guys can see that right there. It's right there. Anyways, so the Russian olives are invasive and they spread. So that's why I have it planted in a container. If I have plenty of space on our property when I get it, I'll plant this out a ways away from the house, because it will create a thicket, and little birds love to feast on the berries. So it would be a really nice habitat for wildlife. Let my tongue catch up with my brain. And so that's how these ones are looking. It is actually loving this corner where it gets a little bit of sunshine and mostly shade. It's really liking it. I have heard that they do great in open sun. They're a pretty hardy plant. They are on certain states, they don't want you selling these plants at all. So Washington State's not one of them, but they do advise against growing them or having them because they can be very invasive. My thought process on all the invasive species is if it wasn't put on this earth, then, then you probably shouldn't be growing it. But since it is something that's put on this earth, and it is something that is a thing, it is a tree, it is a bush, it is a weed, it is whatever it is, yeah, remove it from wherever you don't want it. But as far as banning things, I think that's a bit ridiculous. Just clean it out if you don't want it. End of story. That's my thought process on it. But that's the reason why I have this in a container, though, is because I know that it'll spread. And we've got a new spreader down there. So, I mean, it's kind of neat to see it do that. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my, yeah, it's spreading. But I have not gotten any olives on it yet. And they're like a berry that you can make juice with, kind of like, I'm guessing it's kind of probably going to be close to or similar to or likened to that of like an autumn olive or something like that, possibly. I don't know yet, and until I actually get to taste it, then I'll know. But those are the 3 items in the garden that I want to talk about today. And so yeah, the Russian olive, not a true olive, it's a berry. And then what I think might be the serviceberry over here. Now these were planted both by birds coming into my yard. If anybody knows if this is a serviceberry, please let me know, because I would love to find out. So anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Click that bell button. As always, have a wonderful day, and God bless. Bye.